Okay,
And I'm not gonna lie, Grace is a straight shooter. When I first got into the party, she was one of the first ones I was like, yup, I like her, right, Gonzalo? I was like, yeah, she tell her how it is. Like, you know what I mean? Because you need that. You have a lot of people sometimes that be afraid to say certain things, so then you'll come around thinking that you don't fit the demeanor, you don't fit the decor. You can't be yourself. I remember one time I wanted to say something and I shut my mouth, right? And I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna speak about race, I'm not gonna talk about white people, black people, none of that. If you look at most of my talks, you haven't heard me say it. What's going on, guy? So, everybody, this is my guy right here, Mr. Hood Good, specialist.
All right.
Let me see my brother. So, when you see stuff like that, and then you have people that's able to be themselves, for you, it's like, okay, I can be myself. And then next thing you know, Curtis starts talking, and he's like, they would have never treated the white people like this downtown, like this, and this is, I said, oh, he could say that? I didn't even know. I was trying to be nice and I was trying to stay away from race. He went dived right in. Like, but when you have stuff like that, it's like that's when you realize like I don't gotta fight that black and white thing. Because the people is gonna stand up. And sometimes you need to hear it from that person from that side to speak to his own people, to tell his own people, y'all fucking up. That's not right. And we come right behind that and be like, yup. And this is what we gonna do about it after too. Follow with a response, you know? So everybody, this is Grace.
Yeah, it's recording.
Okay.
But yeah, okay, come on. You're a video guy, right?
Yep, I got you.
Keep your fingers out of the lens. Good afternoon, everyone. I really wasn't expecting. I thought we were going to be outside doing voter registration. Well, so Grace Marrero. I'm running for Bronx Borough President. A little background about me. I'm originally from the South Bronx, 163rd and Intervale, between Banana Kelly and Fox.
Hey.
They look familiar,
yes.
right? I know.
Yes,
But yeah, so my father moved us out of there just before they started burning down the neighborhood. So I've been over here since then for a long time. And I never expected to be in politics. I started as a parent leader at my school, as a grandparent, not even when my daughter went to school. Things happened where I had to take charge and take my grandkids and raise them. So I started as a parent leader, as a PA, as a chair, the co-president of the PA, and then I was also the Title I representative. So I don't know if you know what Title I is, but anyway, that's a federal. Title I is a federal money. You get federal money for the school, additional money that is not part of the state. But the state, this comes from the federal government. Anyway, so I did that. I went from there. I was in President's Council. I was in the school leadership team. I was on the District Parent Advisory Council and CPAC, which is the Chancellor's Parent Advisory Council. So from through there until my kids, I didn't have any kids anymore. Then once you have no kids in the school, you can't be part of that. That's only if you have children in school. So after that, I started my own community-based organization, the Allerton Bronx Block Association. I started that about 2012, I believe. And I do block parties, and I'm going to work with Tyreek to get him started. I do block parties. Been doing it for I don't know, since 2012, 13. I also started. This will be the 5th year. I started the Jazzy J Hip Hop Festival on Allerton Avenue. That's in October. So I have all these other things that I have to get. I'm working on, but I started getting into politics, I don't know, let's say at least maybe 10 years ago. I used to be a Democrat. When I graduated high school, one of the first things I did was to go register to vote, because back then they taught civics, and it was your civic duty to go register to vote and to vote. However, back then there wasn't this Democrat, Republican spiel. It was just when I went to go register, whoever registered me checked off Democrat, because who knew? You're 18 years old. Who gives a rat's ass? You know what I'm saying? So it didn't bother me. Never thought about it all the years that I voted, and I voted I have voted, up and down, I voted across the board, Democrat, Republican, conservative, independent. I've even petitioned for Democrats when I was a Democrat, for Natalia Fernandez, for Jeff Klein, for, different people that were running for office, because at that time, I hadn't been awoken yet. I didn't understand, I didn't realize. And I started learning the political game and seeing for myself how these people, they talk a good talk, but the minute they get into office, they want to stab you in the back and do what they have an agenda.
Mhm.
Their agenda is to maintain power and keep them kickbacks coming, which is why they hate Doge and Trump, because he's cutting off the supply chain, okay? No more of that backdoor dealing, which is what I love about the Conservative Party. We don't do backdoor deals. Everything is up front and above board and transparent. I mean, I've told Pat, I said, if that ever changes, I'm gone, I'm out. Because I don't play that game. I believe in transparency, everything, no matter whether you like what's being said, or if you agree with it, people need to know what's going on, for good or bad. Not just the good, you need to know the bad. So, I got involved with, the first time I ran for city council. I changed from the Democrat to Republican. This is before I knew about the Conservative Party, so I changed to that. And because of certain events that unfolded during that time, I realized that the Republican Party was not for me. So, and enter Pat, and we talked, and I liked what was going on with the Conservative Party, and I said, okay, so I joined the Conservative Party, and I'm very involved with it. So I'm the recording secretary now of the Conservative Party. I'm also the district leader for the 80th Assembly. And last year I ran for state assembly against John Zaccaro, who is the current assemblyman for this district. Okay. I'm not sure if you're all from around here, you're from down my old neighborhood or what, but you should always know who are your elected officials. Remember, all politics is local. Forget the federal, even state level. Local politics is where you need to be. That's what's going to make a difference in your communities, in your lives, and you need to be involved in that. You need to know who's who and hold their feet to the fire.
Right.
Or vote them out. The Democrat Party has had a stronghold on New York City, not New York State. New York State, most people don't understand that New York State is red. It's all conservative, it's either Republican or conservative, it's the majority. It's only New York City that is blue. And we need to change that because, I tell people, whether you like to hear it or not, everybody's on a mental plantation here, okay? Whether you're black, brown, white, whatever, everybody's on that mental plantation when it comes to the Democrat Party. They keep you enslaved mentally to make you vote the way they want you to vote. The unions, if anybody that works, you have a union, then what do the unions say? You gotta vote down the line. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to be thinking for yourself. Look, and especially now, we have smartphones, you have a computer in the palm of your hand. I used to be a tech, okay, I worked for IBM. And so I'm a little bit more tech savvy than most senior citizens my age, okay? But you have a computer in the palm of your hands. There's so many things. Go down those rabbit holes. Go look. You have to know who's associated with who, and so on. You go look on their Facebook page. Look at the people who are their friends, and go into their profiles and go see who their friends are. You gotta do that to see what they're about, who they like, what likes do they have, and things like that. This is how you're gonna understand and vet the people that are either not currently elected or who want to be elected. On my Facebook page, it doesn't say Grace Marrero. I have it because it's a different name, but I gotta change that. I have another one, but I stay on the one that I've had for all these years. And I get a lot of crap from people because I don't have a filter. I say what I say because I can, okay? And that's just the way it is. Nobody should ever be afraid of saying what they need to say. Whether you're gonna offend somebody, right now, people get offended for any little thing. Back in the day,
Quick
you said
question.
what you said, there's no such thing as hate speech, first of all. Yes.
Quick question. Tell them about your platforms, about you
I'm
running.
getting there. Did I rush you?
No, okay.
All right,
Okay.
Jeez. So,
She'll play that.
really. See, now you made me lose my train of thought. Listen, I'm a senior citizen here.
I'm sorry. I'm
Keep
sorry.
me on track. Okay. So anyway, yes, everybody needs to, there's no such thing as hate speech, as far as I'm concerned. The First Amendment is the First Amendment. You can say what you want. There may be consequences to what you say, like if you shout fire in the crowded theater and somebody gets hurt and people run, then of course. But to say what you will have to say, whether people agree with it or not, or to offend somebody, you can either ignore them, rebut them, or walk away. There's no need to fight physically because you don't like what somebody has to say. And that's the thing that let me say liberals, let me not even say Democrats, just the liberal part, the progressive, let's say socialists, okay? The progressive socialists have turned people around to get so triggered over being called black, this, that, whatever. Everybody gets triggered now for stupid things. People are afraid to say what they want to say because they don't want to be labeled as anything. I don't really care because, listen, I'm at a certain age, but when you get to a certain age, you don't really give, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So anyway, here I am in politics. I didn't win last year for assembly again because even the people that are so-called the Republicans who are against the people that are in control now, the people who are elected now, they still vote for them. I've talked to people. I'm like, well, why? I was running. Well, they voted down the line. Last year I didn't have the Republican line. I was just on the conservative line. So again, with that mindset of going down the line, you're missing out on people that you really want to be in there. But, okay. Where was I? So the way they, ay Dios mío, que carajo, coño. Here I am in politics. So I read last year. So anyway, they voted in the incumbent again because they liked. I spoke to people because they liked him because he gives them. He's been doing great things in the neighborhood, i.e., giving away free stuff. That's another thing. Give away free stuff, they're gonna love you.
Yeah.
I'm not about that. I mean, if we could do that, that's fine. Somebody's paying for it. There's nothing free. So anyway, this year I was debating. I wasn't sure if I was gonna run again. I was like, maybe just sit back and help other candidates or whatever. And I was thinking about it, and Vanessa Gibson, who is the current Bronx Borough president, she knows who. We've had our moments. She doesn't like me because I called her out at a meeting that was online with the City of Yes. I don't know if you all know what the City of Yes is. Look it up. It's very bad. We can go into that another time. So we've had our run-ins. I mean, I'm very cordial. I don't hate you. We can agree to disagree, and that's fine. But she's not. She, to me, in my opinion, and just from things that I've seen and heard, is that she's in the pocket of the developers. There's all this developing. I don't know if you see all the developing going on.
Mm-hmm.
They say, oh, it's for affordable housing. It's not affordable. The stuff they're building is not affordable. You're lucky if you get this much space in an apartment. I mean, they're tiny boxes. It's going to be another Manhattan. Right now, in my neighborhood, they're looking to build an 18 or 20-story affordable housing unit. It's gonna block out the sky. They wanna bring all these people in for, and what? We don't have the infrastructure. We don't have the police. We don't have the hospital beds. We don't have ambulances. We don't have the schools to accommodate the kids that are gonna be coming in. We don't have, we just don't have it. We don't have those resources. And all our streets, I walk down the street, it's like a minefield. I have to be so careful that I don't crack an ankle in a hole. All our goods and services are not being taken care of. So, and which is another, going back to the illegal immigrants, illegal aliens, I say, they got billions of dollars. The money that went to them was taken from our taxpayer money to house them, clothe them, feed them, give them cell phones. They even got money to buy cars, they got money to buy houses.
Right.
Did they do that for you?
Nope.
I didn't get it. Even when they had the stimulus check, how many years ago, I never got one of those either. So, they're doing all these things with our money, we need to stop that. The only way to stop these people is to either take them out in the back, but we don't do that, right? Unfortunately, sometimes we need to come back with tar and feathering, right? Or we vote them out. You have to vote them out. We have Tyreek, he's very passionate about his community. All our candidates are passionate about their communities. We are grassroots people. I have been a community advocate / activist. I'd rather say advocate, and then activist later if I have to. But I'd rather advocate. So we're all grassroots. We're all boots on the ground. And we're tired of seeing what's going on. We're tired of being manipulated into fighting each other and to keep these people in power. They don't give a rat's ass about you. They don't care. So we're asking, all of us, we're asking you, come join the Conservative Party. And if you can talk to us about anything, if there's any issues, we work it out. We work it out. We want you to come and stay and be productive. We want you to help get the incumbents that are in office out. And the only way to do that is if you go and vote and you have people behind you. You have another 5 or 10 people that you know. Everybody knows at least another 5 or 10 people, right? You get them involved. When it's time to vote, you go out and vote and you bring a whole slew of people with you. When early voting happens, get out there and vote early. But that's what we have to do. I want to be Bronxborough president. I have a lot of ideas for the Bronx on how to do things, but I can't do it until I'm in office. So I would appreciate all of you to give me your vote, since it's a borough-wide. I'm assuming you all live in the Bronx, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so if you're from Connecticut, thanks, but I can't tell you can't help me. So yes, we need you to vote us into office. We need you to talk to your people that you have behind you. Make them understand that this is not a black, white, purple, yellow issue. This is an issue of community and being duped by these people. Let's get off that plantation. Okay, we're free people. You're supposed to be free people. You gotta be free mentally as well. If you're not free mentally, you're still on that plantation. That's what you have to do. And I know people will resist that. Some people say, well, you can't say that. I says, well, it's the truth hurts. That's the truth, right?
Right.
So you're gonna get resistance, but you gotta keep pushing on, and I hope everybody here is gonna register or change their registration to conservative, and let's get people, more boots on the ground, so that we can get elected and start making some changes that we need here. Enough of the nonsense with these people. Okay, thank you.
Give a round of applause.
Understand this, when we talk about doing for the community, Grace honors our past hip hop veterans, you know what I mean? Like, she's a big pillar in the community. Like, it's not one person she hasn't worked with who don't know her, even from 169, all the way from Buckner Boulevard, Mont Haven. Like, she's known throughout all over, and she has also allowed vendors to be a part of what you call that thing? What we call it again? The street fair.
The Bronx block party. Block party? Yeah.
She even allows the vendors to come out to the block party. Most times she might not even charge them, and they're able to make their money and helping in the community. things like that, and what we do with our businesses allows us to bring economical wealth, if it makes sense, to our community. You know, I don't know all the big words I'm trying to use them. You know, it's my vocabulary.
Just speak what you know.
You know, so at the end of the day, you know, that's what it's all about. And not only with being a part of the Conservative Party, if y'all decide to register today, I'm gonna ask that y'all all write your address with your names. So then now we can see if we don't have somebody in that district, because we always need a county committee.
That's right.
So, you know, they have other local elections, you know, that happens every 2 years. And to be honest with you, even though it's in my district, you know, I'm not planning on running all the time to keep running, to keep running. No, if I can't do it, my job is to find somebody else that they believe in and get them to do it. Because it's not about, I'm going to be who I am regardless. I see that. I'm charismatic. I'm likable. It's about being the bridge. And that's what I'm good in, and I'm used for, as being the bridge. I'm running for office to connect the information to my people, to also let y'all know that y'all can do it, to also bring y'all to prominent people that can help you as well. The next person up, he is the chairman of the party. He started this, and you know, he helped get us together. And he knows a lot more than all of us in this room about what it takes to be into politics, being conservative, and even the rules and the ins and outs. You know, also understand this, like I said, just because I'm bringing y'all in, this is not like a gang situation. You know, you're not under me. You don't have to do what this ain't none of that. This ain't none of that. You could, honestly, I don't like, you could sit there and then talk to Grace and be like, Grace, we want to do Grace. Some of these people, they got non-profits, they got wrestling going on. You will love to work with them on a personal basis. And for me, how does that benefit me? If y'all able to work together and y'all able to build, then I'm able to bring in more people and say, look what I'm able to do. Now I make it real for the youth. The youth is going to want to deal with me because I'm offering them opportunities, not just talk. And this is what y'all do. Y'all coming in here is trying to offer them opportunities because we're trying to bridge everything in together and do it the right way. You know? Because the people that's in control of our lives, they're into everything. Into your media, into your programs, into all of these things. You know? After Pat speak, I'm gonna have each and every one of y'all, one person from each representative of business come up, speak, you know, and then let us know what you got going on. Like I said, I'm pretty sure y'all been listening to everything we saying. Have a plan of what you want from yourself and what you want to get out of this, because being a conservative is not being a conservative for the party. Being a conservative is not being a conservative just for the representatives. Being a conservative is somebody what you want to be. And one thing we focus on is church, you know, family. We believe in God. You don't gotta be in it could be whatever religion, but you gotta believe in God. We all believe in God here, right? There's no atheists in the room, so we all on the same page. You know, you gotta believe in family values. Everybody believe in family values, right? And we believe that boys is boys, girls is girls.
That's right.
I'm not against nobody that's gay. I'm not against nobody who likes whatever they like. You can do that. But what you're not gonna do is confuse my kids. And the choice that you decide to make, you can make that choice. You have the right to make that choice.
For you.
For you. You have no right to put that on nobody else. You have no right to force that on nobody else. If I can't force my masculinity and me being a man, or me having some of a thug in me, you can't force that on our kids. We can't force our, so understand.
That's a good point, because just the other day they had some with the kids learning, you know, they want to teach kids certain shit like that in the class.
They are teaching that in the class, yeah.
But they have, it's not all over yet, but it's certain schools there's certain parents that they ain't even come as the parents, basically.
No.
So that's like an issue, like you just said. The parents, like, if I wanted my kid to learn that, I'll teach it myself.
Right, you can.
So,
you can.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, when we talk about even with music, at one point rap music was detrimental, it was bad. At one point putting stitches in your head was bad. Now everybody in the world is adopting the negative parts of our culture that we didn't even really like that much. So now I'm looking at it like, hold on, you know. So Pat,